Eduardo, welcome.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for being here. I'm really glad you're here, and you're my first guest, actually.
Oh wow, I'm
Yeah.
honored. I'm honored. Thank you for having me. It,
You know why I'm glad? Because I think life connects us in many ways, and one of them is what we're gonna talk about today.
yes, it's definitely mutual experiences, different in different
Different.
ways, but definitely they share a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the first thing I want to go more in depth is the life changing accident we both had.
Okay. How?
So do you want to talk a little bit about yours?
Yes. You want me to talk about like specific details or just go
No, a little
over?
bit broad. So what
Okay.
happened?
Well, basically last year, since now it's 2024, in March, I moved to Miami, and as I was driving home from work, a random guy with schizophrenia, sadly, he had an episode as he was driving past me, and he shot me multiple times. One of those bullets went through the door, expanded, hit me, and well, I had to call 911 and talk to them,
So
and
you called 911
I did, yes. I put the blinkers on. I was talking to a friend on the phone because we
while having the bullets inside.
yes, we keep company of each other because since we work in the music industry, we work at night, and we usually keep company, so we make sure that everyone gets home safe. It's this practice that we have because one, we were new at the city, and two, is it's just good practice to make sure your friends are okay and that they actually make it home.
Mm.
And he was on the phone with me, obviously hands free. I'm not saying that I'm talking on the phone as I'm driving.
We
Um,
don't support that,
exactly.
so
We
don't drive while talking on the phone.
and he hears this commotion and he's like, "Whoa, what's happening?" And I tell him, "Me dieron." Like I tell him I got hit, and he thought I had crashed the car, and it says like, "Dude, what do you mean you just crashed the car? You just got this car?" I'm like, "No, I was shot. Someone shot me," and he was like, "Yo, what?" And he couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. At first, it didn't even hurt. It was just crazy. The shock. It was
The
stunning. I was,
reaction
I,
of the
I was,
body
yeah.
is
My body was in alert. I was freaking out. I remember leaving that moment in full slow motion. I remember every single gunshot, the space between them, the smell of the gasoline in the car, the crack of the window, all of that. And I realized I got shot because I feel the blood running through my waist, like my hips, my waist,
wow.
and I feel wet, and I'm like, fuck, what's happening? I lift my shirt, I see a wound, and blood's coming out of it, and I'm like, okay. And then my body goes, it hurts. So I start feeling the pain as soon as I actually see the that I've been wounded.
Can I interrupt you a little bit?
Yes.
Was it like a movie or was it 100% reality?
Oh wow. In those cases, it feels like a movie, but it also feels like movies are not telling you what actually goes on in those
How is the
moments.
reality?
Because a lot of people came to the hospital telling me you should have like kept driving or you should have tried to like dodge the bullet in some way. And you've definitely never been in a situation where it's out of your control.
I like the thing what you say because in this podcast I multiple times will talk about this knowledge versus experience. Knowledge is good to have, but experience will always beat knowledge.
I mean, I think that knowledge saved me, but the experience that I had was it's something that you really can't control. Like your environment, it's completely out of your hands, and your knowledge is what helps you, you know, react and do things. I
Stay
mean,
calm as much as you can.
exactly. I was freaking out. I freaked out for about a minute, 30 seconds, and then I calmed myself down somehow. I don't know what came over me. And I'm not going to say I felt peace, but I definitely felt sharp. I felt
Hmm.
like I needed to do something and I knew what I had to
Interesting.
do. So I texted my family. I told them, familia, family, I don't want to scare you, but I've been shot. I love you. That's all I could say. I called 911 and or 911. My brother reads that message and he calls my dad multiple times until he wakes up. This is 2:30 in the morning. And as I'm talking to 911.
There is no good time that this happened, but 2:30 in the morning when somebody sleeps and awakes because
Yeah,
his child
it's
got shot,
it's a
like I get goosebumps right
it's
now.
a crazy time. And Alex, that day I was taking my my license test, so I had all of my papers, all of them, since the start of me getting to the United States, and even my dad's bank statements, like crazy. And the police arrives. They it truly that felt like a movie because they arrived, and bro, that was like some movie scene where the police just arrives and they're all holding guns like this, and they push clear, clear, and they
Wow.
just knock on the window, two, two, two. Buddy, are you okay? Can you get off the car? And I'm like, yes. So I go and try to open the door. This was a German car, and I'm usually driving American or Asian cars.
Where
And
did that happen
that happened March 23rd
and where?
at the exit of the
No, in what place?
oh, Miami.
Miami. Okay.
Yes, yes. Sorry, I got too specific.
No, it's okay.
But yes, la salida de la 36 con la Palmetto, the 36 with Palmetto,
Yeah.
and they arrived and they were like, "Can you get off the car?" I didn't know how to open the door because I don't drive German cars here. That was my first German car
And that's different.
because the way to unlock the door is different. The German cars unlock it
Okay.
on the door
Uh-huh.
and like above, like right near the window, and American cars, it's like on that dash
It's a little
thing.
lower.
Yes. So I didn't know where to
I
go.
see. Wow.
I couldn't open the door. I eventually my mind just goes and actually like says just open the
Yeah.
individual door. I open the door. I get out of the car. I'm standing, and they tell me I had my shirt on the wound, and he says, "Let me see the wound." And they tell me you've been shot 5 times, and I'm
Oh.
like, "Oh, how come I'm standing?" And they're like, "Good point." So they sit me or lay me down on a bed, one of those emergency beds. I get on the ambulance, in the ambulance, on the ambulance, don't know.
Yeah.
And they take my shoes off. They take all of my belongings. They put a bunch of lines on me so they can start putting medicine.
Fast forward to the moment because they put you on coma, right?
Yes.
Fast forward to the moment where you wake up.
Oof.
A little bit the first moments, what you felt.
I wake up and I felt confused, but not really, because I never thought for sure that I was gonna die. Like I knew that I could die,
Uh,
but in a moment I took the decision. I was like, do I want to die? I was like, no, then I'm not gonna die.
so this was a conscious decision.
Yes.
So you think if you would have said it's okay to die now,
Then I wouldn't have
you
called
would have passed
9/11.
away?
Yes.
You believe so?
Yes.
Interesting.
Because I wouldn't have done what I did to survive.
I see.
Because I was awake the
But you
whole time
think
through.
is it
I was
you
awake until they
or is
put
it
me in
your
a coma.
survival mechanism?
I think it's a combination of both. But you, and this is something I've always said to. I've had conversations about this ever since it happened, and they always ask me, and they're like, "What? What do you think kept you alive?" And I always say, "Look, I think that you should live the life that you want to live, and you should live it now and stop making excuses,
I really like that.
because that's what's gonna keep you alive in moments where
Things are not going well.
fuck, where you see yourself making the decision, do I want to be alive or not?
Uh,
And hopefully we don't get to choose that more than once or ever. But if that ever comes your way, you need to have something that you want to live for. And because if imagine you are miserable and you don't do nothing. I
that's
mean, do you really think that at that moment, yeah, your survival instinct's gonna kick in, but also you're gonna ask yourself, do I want to go back to that?
maybe why am I here? My purpose,
Exactly.
maybe.
You know what I mean? Maybe this is it. Maybe this is just my way out.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, a lot of people ask me, were you afraid of dying? Not really. Dying is something, what I'm afraid is the pain. And now, really, like after being shot, it's it, my pain threshold, I think it went up, and there's not a lot of things that I feel like I always find myself comparing pain to that, and I'm like, it doesn't hurt that much.
You know what I like on that? Recently, I was talking to a friend and I was telling him that I actually am not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of not having done things that I could have done,
Yes.
not having reached my potential.
Mm,
And this is if I am on the bed of dying,
mm.
I don't want to regret these things. That I
Yes.
had so much energy to do things, to create things, and I didn't. And you know what's interesting? I have a friend who is a doctor, and he has seen many people dying in front of him, of course.
From being a doctor, yes.
Exactly.
Tends to
And
happen.
he told me 8 out of 10 people in the dying bed asking themselves or regretting things they haven't done. And I don't want to be a person like that. I think I
Yes.
live my life pretty intense, and I experience many things,
Mm.
but I think I can do more.
We always can do more. There's always I was having a conversation with my mom yesterday about this because I mean these things really make you question a lot of things, aspects from your life. Not necessarily that you're living in a wrong way, because I don't think there's a wrong way of living, but there's definitely a more fulfilling way of living. And I was talking to her and she told me, look, living without a purpose is just going through life. You're not really enjoying, you're not gonna get anywhere. If you think that life just happens, um, life is gonna happen, but it's not. It's just gonna go by. You know what I mean? It's not something that, oh, I really want to go to Spain, really want to go to Spain, but you should say that you want to go to Spain and you do nothing about going to Spain.
No taking action.
You're not really gonna go to Spain. And there's something about manifesting and manifesting with actions, which is something that I believe in more than manifesting with words. Words are super and intentions are super strong, but man, actions are
The key.
so strong.
I heard that last time somewhere. I don't remember. Affirmations without actions are delusion, and I agree 100%. Because I have been in the past like that, saying things, writing things down, and waiting that it comes from the sky. You know, many people say easy thing. I want to lose weight.
Mm,
Yeah, the weight loss doesn't gonna come from God.
yes,
The weight loss is gonna come to move your butt somehow, to
yes,
do something for yourself, right?
yes. I finding motivation, finding a purpose, and purpose doesn't have to be, because I think that sometimes we set our goals too high. Not to say that that's a bad thing. You should be ambitious, but setting ambitious goals with realistic smaller goals. And this is something that my mom told me as well, a very wise woman. And she told me, look, if you want to get a new car, that's your goal for this year. But you can only afford by the end of the year a used car. You achieved your goal. You're there. You got a car. You got to drive something different than what you had, and you're closer to, like, next year you buy the new one, and it's fine. Life, it's short, but it's also long. I think that sometimes we put a lot of pressure in ourselves because we think that, for example, this past year I was technically the whole year dealing, like, recovering from an
Yeah,
incredible accident, and I don't see that as lost time, as time that I wasted. I've learned so much, I've grown so much from it, and in the long scheme of things, when I look back, and it's only been 9 months, it already seems that it passed.
wow.
You know what I mean? And it's not even been a year, and I'm already feeling like, yeah, it's in the past.
You know, this gets me really emotional because to go back to the accident, what connects us in a point, is the accident. I had also a life-changing experience, which was an accident in Vietnam. I didn't get shot, but I had a motorbike accident. I was on the motorbike and somebody came in front of me. I couldn't brake, so I crashed against him. I broke his knee, and I flew. This was a movie. This was an actual movie. I flew over the motorbike. I was in the air, and I don't know if my instinct or myself, this felt like a movie because I turned myself on the side and I fell on the side, so my hip turned, like, changed position. I broke a vertebra. And what I remember very, very real right now, if I think, is the moment I am in the air. It was like so long time. It was like I am in the sky for a minute, for 2 minutes, but this was like 3, 4 seconds
Yeah,
maybe.
the slow motion.
And I thought they say like your life passes in front of you. The reality is what I experienced is I saw many things, and one of them was I was asking myself, is this right now happening to me? And it was kind of a joke.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Yeah.
this can't be it. And once I crashed, I have to say, be careful on the street, guys, because the street hurt. The street hurt. And of course, in Vietnam, very hot, like here in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah. Your
I
skin
didn't,
just
yes,
peels
I
off.
didn't, what were I, like shorts and stuff.
Yeah.
My whole body was scratched,
Yeah.
like open. And as you say, it didn't hurt.
Yeah.
I didn't feel it. Immediately, and then the motorbike fell on me as well. But I immediately stood up. I walked. Everything was normal. Probably I was in shock, but I didn't realize. Like I was very conscious, I would say.
Yes.
So what I did, I lifted the motorbike. I looked at the guy. He was a little bit older, so I looked at him. People came to me, but then I didn't even go to the hospital because I was scared. I didn't even go there.
What do you do?
I healed myself. I healed myself. Of course, I had to stop my career. So I had to stop for 2 years playing football, and then I took a lot of therapies, like physical therapies, massage, and whatever. And yeah, but this was the moment I fell into depression, you know.
Mm.
And as you said, 9 months passed. Now you don't feel it anymore. Like you keep living your life,
Yes.
and that's what happened to me too. Like depression, this was a moment. This was a great teacher to me. Actually, it couldn't happen something better than this. I'm honest, because you stop.
Mm.
You stop of thinking what's actually important. You think your life is that, and this will be it. But there is so much more we don't see at the moment because we can't, because we have the tunnel.
Yes. I think that there's career paths um, that stream from passion. What I do, I'm a sound engineer, producer, guitarist, love life and dancing and all that. But
He's a great dancer. He's a very good dancer. He
music,
has to teach me something.
music comes from it really comes from the soul, right? It's something that I think that you oof, it's a whole language. It's truly like learning a new language when you learn music, and it becomes a part of who you are. It becomes almost a necessity. It's like I'm addicted to music, and
Like I was to sport.
we because of that we're so laser focused, and that's a really good thing because these career paths require that. One, they're extremely competitive. I mean, to be a professional soccer player, you need to, or football, not soccer, American,
Thank you.
uh, football. You need to you have a lot of competition. It's really demanding on the body. It's really demanding on the mind. It's really demanding as there's competition. People want what you want, and whoever wants it the most, it's the one that's gonna get it, right?
Most likely.
That's what they say.
Most likely, yeah.
Um, so we build these life around our dream,
This
and
avatar.
exactly, and we think that that's it because that's what we tell ourselves every day before we go to bed, every morning when we wake up. I am a guitar player. I'm gonna be the best guitar player in the world, and this is what I want to do. And it doesn't matter how much I have to sacrifice. I will sacrifice it because I want to do that. And to a certain point, that's a good thing because it drives you and it helps you, and you
100%.
need that drive to be able to make it. But because of that, you also lie to yourself every day, saying that the most important thing in life it's your career, and it's really not. Life um, I didn't even think of music when I was in that car waiting for the ambulance.
Yes, bro.
I like you think of your family, you think of your friends, you think of dude, like how how have I been living life, and and how is this happening to me? Like I've never done anything bad to anyone. Like why would someone shoot me? Like
Yeah.
and the least thing that you're gonna think, the last thing that's gonna come to your mind is your career. It's really not gonna come to your
Yeah.
mind. And after that, you're not gonna think of that. I spent 4 months without playing guitar after the surgery and the coma and all of that.
That's a good thing. What I want to mention as well is like, you say after that 4 months you didn't play guitar or you didn't do what you
Yeah.
love. So my question is overcoming overcoming of the trauma, of the
Mm.
experience, of the actual pain, fear, whatever comes with it,
Mm-hmm.
is overcoming a necessity, or is it more we have to learn to live with that? Still, if it comes to the, if we have dreams and we cannot sleep, what does it call? Nightmares. If we have nightmares, is it learning to live with that, or is it we have to overcome that and forget the past?
No,
What do you think? How do you feel actually about that?
forgetting the past. No, no. You can't. You. I don't think. I don't think we should forget the past. I think that something that happened to me, or that my psychologist told me at one point. She was told me, look, you you stood conscious throughout this whole thing, and you don't remember feeling fear. You don't remember feeling pain. You don't remember this because all of that you shoved into your subconscious, and just it's in the back of your head because for you to be able to get through, you need it to be kind of like as primitive as you could be. Um, but I was afraid, extremely afraid, and I was in extreme pain. The most pain I've ever felt in my entire life. It's crazy. Like my whole self. Like if you ask me how does it feel, it's like if your soul was wounded. That's how it feels. It's like you just hurt everything from your toes to the tip of your hair. Everything is in pain, and um, forgetting that it's like not living the experience at all. If I were to forget that that happened to me, then why did I go through it?
Mm,
I think that overcoming doesn't necessarily means forgetting. It means learning
I agree.
and accepting. You need to accept this happened, and I am a true and firm believer that everything happens for a reason. And yes, it was awful, but wow, it happened in the best way possible.
Can I stop on the accepting?
Yes.
Because accepting things is can be very very difficult for multiple reasons. My question is, how easy or how difficult is it to blame others? The person who shot you, the person who came in front of me,
Mm.
and how easy or difficult is it to forgive these people in a way of accepting the situation,
Oof. That.
right?
Yes. That.
I think many people struggle with that. I have struggled years to forgive, first of all myself, first of all myself, and then others, and to stop blaming him, her, life, the situation, whoever was not good at the time for me, you know?
eh, it's really hard to not to blame because as humans that's part of a coping thing. We like to blame. We like it. It helps us to understand. It's like, oh, you are guilty for this because you know what I mean, this happened because of you
It
or this
takes
happened
weight of
because of
us.
me. It truly is. I'm not going to say a lazy way of dealing with things, but definitely
The easy
it's
way,
just a yes. It's an easy way to say
giving the responsibility.
exactly. You're just passing that to
Yeah.
someone and or something or a situation. Um, I'm forgiving this guy. To be honest, I never felt resentment. If something I felt bad, the person that shot me shot himself. He's dead,
Yeah.
and he killed himself about 8 hours after he shot me. He he didn't shot me. He shot something, and God knows
Wow.
who he was seeing. He didn't see me. He doesn't know who Eduardo is. He had no idea, and I bet that if we had met, like we would have even might have been friends. You know what I mean? Like it's not something that this guy was. He was the victim of a mental illness that drove him to do things, and victim of a system that doesn't know how to guide them through the right path. Because sometimes life gives us hard cards to play, and when you get something like schizophrenia, I don't know how that's like. I've never had that, and I can only feel um I'm not gonna say sorry, but a part of me does. I wish I could hug his mom. She didn't want to see me. And just say I'm sorry that you lost your son and that you lost your son to this illness. And she sent me a message to the lawyer saying like um, I'm so sorry that he did that to you. And she was, crying all over
Yeah.
she feels really bad. But it's not something that I truly did not feel hate or resentment or I wanted to blame him, but for one split second, I was blaming life so bad. I was so angry. I was so angry. I was like, I cannot believe this. I had just moved to Miami. I was only there for 3 weeks. I already had an amazing job. I was going to start recording with very important people in a very beautiful studio that luckily they still gave me the job after I recovered. So I'm working there and I'm still doing things.
Beautiful.
And but at that time I was like, this was my shot and I lost it. I missed the train. I couldn't get in the train on the train because of this accident.
Yeah.
And the reality is we tend to want to live way too fast.
Yeah, and
Way too fast.
I believe because after these experiences, the traumatic, the pain, how difficult is it to be vulnerable and to go out there and to say, listen, I'm in pain. Not only the physical aspect, like you got shot, I got hit, whatever it is, also the mental aspect to go, because I work with people. I work with people. So I know how difficult it is for many of them to say, I'm weak. I
Yes.
don't know what to do. I'm in pain. I have not the courage to talk to my family. I have not the courage to talk to my friends.
Yes.
I feel alone. I feel lonely. And through my travels, of course, and my experiences, I realized because I was scared. I was scared as well to talk about those things. Was, even if my personality is so open, I was scared to ask for help
Mm.
because asking for help, of course, you get vulnerable. But I think in vulnerability lies so much strength and growth.
Growth is uncomfortable and being vulnerable is extremely uncomfortable. Something that helped me be vulnerable with and open with my mental health after the
The accident.
yes, it was truly you guys. I mean, when I mean you, my friends. Um, I had obviously my phone was turned off because the police turned it off, and it was put in a bag. When I woke up um, from the coma, the first thing I remember was seeing my mom and my dad, and light. I was extremely harsh to my eyes because they were closed for 3 days. And when I was finally conscious, because you're getting out of that full anesthesia thing and you're crazy, and I was high on many drugs. I saw a lot of beautiful things while I was high. I mean, I'm not saying go and get high, but fuck, like in that controlled space, oof,
Yeah.
definitely recommend it. It
Give
was
us more. Yeah.
yes, and man, one day after I am down from the ICU, um, I'm put in this room. I'm freaking out. I still don't know what happened. We don't know who shot me. We don't know why. Um, I ask for my phone, turn it on. I go through Instagram and WhatsApp, and the word had spread like hot bread. And there's so much love that I was receiving from
Something like
everyone.
that. Again.
I started crying, and I cried. I started crying by myself, kind of like in silence. My mom wakes up, she sees me crying, she starts crying with me, and then I run out of tears. I keep crying. She runs out of tears. I keep crying. I cried for like an entire day and a half, and
You lost all the water you had.
seeing how much, like, that you feel the love from your friends, but seeing how something like that really um brings, how something so bad could bring so many people together. I felt like, I don't know if, have you seen Dragon Ball Z?
Of course.
You see when he's gonna do the Henki Dama
Uh
thing,
huh.
and
The big bowl.
everyone sends energy so for him to do it.
Yes.
I felt the same way. I
Yeah.
felt like everyone was sending me energy, and that's why I was able to first walk. I walked 5 days from the coma. I mean, no, 5 days from the accident, from me being in the hospital. I was already walking, and they told me I wasn't gonna walk for 6 months.
Amazing.
And my whole family was planning on kind of moving to Miami to stay with me. And I I left the hospital walking, and I was like, it was thanks to all of you who sent all that loving, all that care, all that positivity
Can we stay
my
for a
way.
second here?
Yes.
I have felt lonely many times in my life. Many times in my life. And it's not being alone. Being alone is something else. Being lonely is like I'm by myself and nobody can help me or is able to help me
Mm.
or want to help me.
Mm-hmm.
That's a mechanism of the mind. And in these moments, me and I think many other people think that they are not enough, that they are not good enough, that they are not, yeah, that they are not ready for life. And I tell you this because I remember on our first call, you told me you needed some time before you went out to a coffee place. Was it
Yes.
like this?
Yes.
Why was it like this? What happened? Were you afraid of the society? Were you afraid that this can happen again? Or were
Wow.
you feeling any of this? Were you blaming yourself that you did a mistake maybe?
Okay. Um, I wasn't blaming myself, but I was definitely afraid, extremely afraid. I Many people came to visit me, and they were like, let's go out, and I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to be in social places. I was awkward. I didn't even know how to hold a cup of water in social settings. I didn't know how to stand. I felt first I lost 30 pounds,
Yeah.
and I was looking like I had gone through something rough because I had gone through something rough. You know what I mean? And it's not that you want to be superficial, but I'm already skinny. Imagine me with like
30 pounds less.
weighting 150 pounds. It's insane. And I'm 6'1", so you look like a mantis. You know what I mean? And I felt seen. I felt like people could see my pain, and I
Oh.
didn't like it. I felt exposed, and that made me extremely uncomfortable in
But you
social
believe
settings.
they really thought that, or they really were watching you, or was it just your mind? Because many
No,
times we
it
go
was
to
it
places
was me.
and
It
we
was
think
it was me.
people look at us more than they actually do.
It was something that it was a narrative that I was telling myself, and I had to learn. But I know I had to learn to overcome that. But the only the only way was really through a support system that was great, and forcing myself to do things.
Yeah.
Going out and being, I'm gonna be here because there's no way. A lot of people ask me, "What are you gonna do? Are you gonna move out of Miami now?" I was like, "Do you think I'm gonna let this guy ruin my entire life
Yeah.
just because of this? No, I'm not."
When I was in India, my teacher, when he is watching this, I sent him a lot of love. He had a traumatic experience when he was younger. When he was, I think, I don't remember, when he was very young. His
Mm,
uncle um, mistreated him sexually.
mm,
Yeah. And he killed himself after as well.
his uncle.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like after years. But my teacher right now, today, is healed completely because he took the experience. He has the past, right, in his mind, in his heart, but he left it because he said that he is not the person that received that anymore. So he left that part of him.
Mm,
Doesn't mean that that didn't happen. He didn't forget about it. But he kept going, as you say right now. He
yes.
didn't let this person ruin the whole other life.
No, you can't give um.
Because, I'm sorry,
No, it's okay.
I think many people struggle with that. And I believe that many people stop and are so in a deep state of depression
Mm-hmm.
that they think that this is who I am right now for the rest of my life.
Yes. In my experience, when it comes to depression, because I I fell in depression after the accident. I was in antidepressants. I had a bunch of anxiety, as social anxiety, but actual anxiety. I couldn't sleep, couldn't close my eyes because I would hear gunshots. I I didn't want to get in a car. The first time I got in a car, I was completely uncomfortable. I didn't want to drive. Uh, when I got out of the hospital, I I was a little afraid because I thought someone was waiting for me outside of the hospital to shoot me. Um, we were driving and a little rock hit the window, the front window, and I touched, like I kneeled down and I was like, fuck, like,
Yeah,
and I am utterly I get freaked out when I hear gunshots, extremely freaked out, like, and it's not the type of freak out that you would think like it's a mental thing, like you imagine yourself freaking out, and no, 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 it's physical thing. It's like being hungry. It's like you don't control being hungry, you're just hungry.
yeah.
That's how I freak out. It's a thing that I feel in my bones, like my complete body just electrifies and just goes, and I'm in panic mode.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm learning to deal with, because it's again, it's all part of the healing process. But
In this moment, I want to give something, like I want to give some support to the people who maybe gonna find this video and watch it.
mhm,
Like, how do we find the way back? Of course, through a lot of courage,
yes,
through a lot of understanding, accepting what we said already.
mhm,
But if you would have 2 minutes in a public space where 10 million people are watching you that have similar problems, are going through similar things or went through similar things, what would you give them? You remember, you have like 2 minutes time before you cannot talk anymore.
mhm.
What, and you need to give the best advice and the most value that you can, so
Wow,
you can help those people. What would you give them?
oof,
I know it's a difficult question because this is
yeah.
a very
I
deep.
I don't know, oof, I don't know if I have the wisdom to heal someone so fast, but I would definitely, things that helped me. One,
That's what we want to hear.
being thankful. Say thanks every day. For what? For porque sí. Just
Yeah.
say thanks because life is happening, because you're alive, because it's truly a gift, because you survived. Um, say thanks because of your family, and if you are not close to your family, say thanks because of your friends, and if you're not close to your friends, say thanks because of your pet. Say thanks because you have water. Say thanks because you are there,
Yeah.
having a human experience. And the way that shifted my way of viewing life, and the way that just lifts my spirit, as soon as I say thank you, truly say thank you, it's truly helped me move forward. I would also say, moving with that energy, use it and speak up. If you are sad, if you are feeling lonely, if you have something that's troubling you, find, speak to someone, anyone, say it. It really helps, um, talking, and I struggle with that a lot. Oof, bunch. It's really hard for me to talk about my emotions,
I don't believe
and
you, because with me you were really good.
yes, but sometimes,
In our first call.
it's really hard for me to.
Yeah.
It's like a little hypocritical of myself to be saying this, but it truly is really hard for me to express my emotions sometimes and be clear with them, and that's something that I'm trying to improve and learning, every day, little by little. Life, it's not one moment. That that song Aerosmith, life is a journey, not a destination. You Things will happen along the way, and what you can't do is just stay knocked down. No, no, no. Be like Rocky, stand up, keep fighting. Things will get better. This too shall pass.
What an important role plays faith in all this journey. For me, at least, it was a key role. Have faith. Have faith in the unknown.
Mm.
You can call it God, universe, energy, whatever is comfortable for you. But faith is the
Trust.
yeah, the thing that we can't see, but
Mm.
we have faith in something that's gonna bring us to a better
I
place.
mean, I'll give you a perfect example right now. I got shot, right?
Yeah.
And I questioned my life. I was like, why did I get shot? This, and that. Well, I was in a coma. They did a bunch of exams, of course, and they found that I had this little mass called a nodule in my thyroid. Thyroid is a gland
Please take it away.
that
Oh, that's fine.
a thyroid is a gland that
Yes.
in the shape of a butterfly that lives right here in your body. And its function, its main function, it's to regulate hormones. And
Yes, many people have troubles with it.
exactly.
Other some
Some
people
people, some
can't eat
people,
much or can eat
exactly.
less, right?
So I have mine was working to my knowledge. I was feeling no symptoms. Because the symptoms are extremely subtle. You can just start feeling tired, but fuck, you work so much, you
Yeah.
might just be tired, right? And they find this nodule, and they tell my dad and my mom, look, whenever you get the chance, check it out, because men, um, it's not normal for a man to have a nodule in their throat. There, it's not normal. It's kind of dangerous, really.
Is it kind of cancer or what is it?
So I go. We do a biopsy.
Uh-huh.
They analyze it. There's 6 levels to that, and 6 being cancer, 1 being nothing at all,
So five being cancer, and
6 being cancer.
but there are six in total.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the closer you get to 6, the more likely it is to be cancer. If you get to
I
6,
see.
it's definitely cancer, right? And mine came back 5.
Okay.
So now we're a little worried. And we keep doing some research. All the doctors tell me you need to get surgery. You need to get your thyroid out. And I'm like, I just
Again,
went through this
again.
thing and I need to get surgery again. I really don't want to do this. And I didn't want to get surgery. I postponed that for so long. Um, when I went to see the same doctor, he got so angry at me
Uh-huh.
that it's not that
He was worried.
he yes, and he really was very efficient at letting me know how worried he was because I was scared shitless when I left that office, and he made me buy a plane ticket and I got surgery here. I like with him, right?
That's
He was like, you
fantastic.
need to get
That's
surgery.
doctors that care for you and
He was
not
like, you
want
need
just
to
the
get
money.
surgery now, and if you like now, so let's go. When are you leaving? So I call my job, tell them, look, I need to go. I bought a plane ticket. I get surgery. The surgery passed. It was 2 weeks and a half ago. 4 days ago, we find out that I didn't have not one nodule. I had three,
Mhm.
and two of those were cancer. So I had cancer even when I got shot. For God knows how long, I've had thyroid cancer. Now I'm healed, and the only way I found out about this cancer was because I got shot.
Was your accident?
And you might think that stuff will happen in your life that it's completely unbelievable and you don't know why it's happening and it seems that life is going to end. But like I said, everything
I
happens
love
for a
it.
reason.
I love it. Of
Everything
course,
truly
this
does.
is something that we don't wish to anybody, but something very traumatic, very painful led you to your actual healing.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
incredible. That's
No,
beautiful.
and it truly has shifted my perception of my life. It has shifted priorities. Right now, my main focus is my health. 100%. Like I want to change, and what I mean by health is not I want to be on a diet. No, 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 no. I want my lifestyle to change completely so I can be healthy.
I love it.
Meaning, starting to work out again, eating better food, walking, meditating, going to the beach, being outside, having a pet, having healthy relationships with my friends, and all of this is a circle that feeds. And I want that to be the new well the new me in a way. I want my life to be that. I don't want to feel like, oh, I'm gonna do this for 4 months, this diet, because I want to gain some weight.
Yeah.
Because after the 4 months, if I stop doing it, I'm gonna lose the weight that I
I
gained.
have a rule for people I coach. I say you want to change your life. Of course, you have to be serious about yourself. You want to change your life? I have a triangle of what you should do. Move your body in a way you like, dance, swing, go to the gym, do whatever you want. Just move your fucking body. The second one,
Shake your booty.
yeah, the second one is meditation. Meditation, people think you sit on a rock and do this. Meditation can be this conversation, being 100% immersed on that and not thinking what I have to do tomorrow. Meditation can be reading a book and understanding 100% the book. Meditation can be sitting down and focusing on yourself,
Yep.
on your breathing. And the third
Being
thing
present.
I like from the triangle, exercising, meditation, is diet. What you eat, you become.
Yes.
This is the energy you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm eating dead things, I gonna be
Dead.
my energy gonna be like that.
Yes. Yes.
So I never change that, and I don't lie to people. I don't want any more hacks,
Mm.
quick things. No, because life is not a hack.
Yeah, and it's not
Life is happening every single day.
and it's not quick. I mean,
And this comes to the final question I want to ask. Is this your second life? Or is it one life with multiple experiences? How do you view it?
oof. Well, a lot of people have told me that my second birthday is now March 25th, which is when I woke up from the coma. Which is funny because it's adding my birthday, with the actual birthday, which
Yeah.
is March 2nd, which the date of the accident, which is March 23rd, equals
Oh,
25.
fast a year.
So we kind of like it. We kind of like the second birthday thing, but I think it's one life with multiple experiences, and um, I don't think I was necessarily born again, but I think that this has really taken off my focus a lot of things that I thought were important and putting in my focus a lot of things that I was taking a little for granted. That being said, my family, for example, nature, just sitting down, taking one moment to appreciate how beautiful the sky is. And I can, well, one thing that I would love to leave people with really is you can do it. Um, you can do it because look, if I have been able to do it, if I'm still I see if I still got that job, if I'm still recording with all these people and getting all of these crazy experiences after having all of these setbacks, meaning I've been in the hospital for over a year because uh, on July of
Three.
2022,
Two.
I had surgery because I need to take my tonsils out because they were completely infected. And by the end of that year, I had some crazy blood infection that happened, and I had to come back. And next, the accident, and
Next.
now this, and I have so many setbacks. I had to quit college for a while to go pick up potatoes and work illegally in
Yeah.
the States because I had no money and I had to do that. And I still managed to graduate. I still managed to get a job in an incredible company. I've still managed to pursue what I want to do. And it's possible. You can do it. It's really just be patient with yourself. Trust the process. Learn from the things that happen to you.
Yeah.
They happened because they needed to. Don't feel like there's something out to get you like I felt once. And don't try to blame life like I did once. It's just accept it, learn from it, y pa'lante.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. Lastly, I want to say, like, go to your own pace, because many times we look at others and say they have figured it out and I'm late. I'm not doing this what he or she is doing, and then we compare and we feel like last. We feel like smaller.
Yes. Social media does that
Take
to
your
us.
time. Social media, yes, it is how we use it,
Yes,
like who we follow.
sadly.
It's the same like what friends we have close to us.
Yes.
Like some famous guy, I don't know who said that. Look at your five closest friends you're hanging out. This is what your life gonna be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I kind of agree, because the people we are hanging out, the conversations we're gonna have, is how we
Yeah.
gonna actually
Yeah.
live.
Yeah. The advices, the experiences
Yeah,
that
like
you learn
if
from
persons are
lead
talking
lead lead to that kind of life. Yes.
24/7 about nonsense, what do you think our subconscious mind gonna work?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
we need to kind of challenge ourselves
No,
with knowledge, with
going at your own pace, it's extremely key. I have a
yeah,
friend that told me once, um, humans come to the world to live and be alive. That's it. Everything else, it's made up.
it's an extra,
You
yeah.
you think you need a big house, you don't. You think you need a Ferrari, you don't.
It's fine
You
if you
think you,
have it and if you want to have them.
I mean, being comfortable, it's amazing. And like I said, being ambitious, it's cool. Be
Yeah,
ambitious. But don't torture yourself because you don't have these things. And if you want them, you will have them. Just be patient and learn that if, I don't know, if Pedro got it in 5 years and it's taking you 20, it's
yeah,
okay
yeah.
because it's your life. Just enjoy it. And dude, you might even appreciate it more because it took you a little more to get it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, just pasito pasito, just
Yeah,
one step in front of the other, and slowly but surely you'll get there.
beautiful. Well, Eduardo, I really appreciate your presence and I really appreciate your talk and your vulnerability.
Thank you for having me.
I hope we could, I hope we can help some people see things differently. And I really wish you love, contentment, and yeah, strength for the future.
Yes, yes, thank you. Same to you.
Thank
Same
you.
to all of you guys
Yeah,
watching.
this was
Nah,
a wonderful talk.
thank you.